This is Joe McGonigal with DDS Match. If you have a practice or a multi-location group with revenues over $1 million, it's very likely that you've received an unsolicited offer from a DSO or similar type group. As consolidation continues and more groups enter the market, the demand for high-producing and profitable practices continues to grow. This is great news for practice owners. At the same time, accepting an unsolicited offer without fully exploring the market could result in you leaving a lot of money on the table and potentially committing yourself to the wrong partner for the next 3 to 5 years. We're now getting calls several times a month from dentists who've received an offer and want our help to review it and negotiate it further. While I would consider most of these offers good, we've been able to improve all of them by running a formal, competitive process. And I want to be clear, this isn't a criticism on any of the DSOs or private equity groups making these offers. They're doing exactly what they should be doing. They're in the business of acquiring assets at the best possible price for the buyer. So what does all of this mean for you? If you've received an offer that seems too good to pass up, start by asking yourself the following questions. How was the purchase price or enterprise value determined? Is it a multiple of EBITDA? If yes, who calculated your EBITDA? If the answer is the buyer told me what my EBITDA was, that should be a red flag. As a practice owner, it's critical you understand the financial performance of your practice before sharing your data with any potential buyers. This is one of the first steps we take with clients as they engage us. We analyze the practice, establish a range of value and a target multiple based on our analysis. This gives our clients a very clear understanding of their practice's value in today's market. Second, how is the deal structured? Most likely, you'll be receiving 60 to 80% of your purchase price in cash at closing. But what about the portion you don't receive at closing? In today's market, it's very likely to be in equity, or what's called an equity rollover. If so, what kind of equity are you getting? How is it structured? How is it valued? What rights do you have and what options do you have to liquidate it in the future? Equity can be incredibly exciting and very financially advantageous. But if it's not structured correctly and you don't fully understand your rights and options, you might be taking on far more risk than you originally intended. Third, how well do you know the group making the offer? What is their track record? How strong is their balance sheet? When are they planning to do a recap? They've had analysts pouring through your financials for hours, asking follow-up questions to fully understand your business and running models on how to improve the productivity and profitability of your practice after the transaction's completed. But how well do you understand their business? How much diligence have you really been able to do on them? If you're going to be working with them for 3 to 5 years and investing in their business via your equity rollover, it's critical that you do the same diligence and have a complete picture of who you're going into business with. This is one of the things we help our clients with as part of the process. And fourth, how clearly defined is your role post-transaction? Obviously, majority of these deals come with a requirement for the seller to remain with the practice for 3 to 5 years. Has the buyer explained to you how your compensation rate post-transaction actually impacts the enterprise value of your business? Have you clearly defined how you're going to exit the practice when the time is right? And what requirements have to be in place for you to do so? Is it required that you have an associate or multiple associates in place to be able to transition out of the business? And is there a plan for doing that? And what about termination clauses? These are more a part of the legal documents that go along with a transaction, but when you're doing an equity rollover, it's often the case that the termination clauses are very closely connected to the future value of your equity. And you want to make sure that there's nothing in there that could potentially reduce the value of your equity unnecessarily. Obviously today, I've shared a number of words of caution, but the truth is it's an incredibly exciting time in dentistry today. These deals can be incredibly lucrative, At the same time, each one is unique. They're all different, and oftentimes they're very complex. Receiving an unsolicited offer is a great starting point, but if you've received one, please make sure you engage the right team of professionals to help you understand it, make sure it's the right deal for you, and if so, make sure that each point is negotiated correctly and documented the right way. You spent years building an asset that's in high demand. Take your time and don't rush into the first deal that shows up on your door. We're happy to evaluate any offer you might have received, answer questions, and give you our feedback. Feel free to call us at any time for a confidential conversation. Thanks.